It's 5 o'clock in Pirate Country, and it's time to get pumped up with the P-Man. Hit the door and hit the road. 94.3 The Game is going to get you home, and the P-Man's not holding back.
Yes! Yes! Pirates win! Pirates win!
Bring on the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Holy mackerel! Oh, my goodness!
The flagship station of the ECU Pirates.
All right, locked and loaded on a Friday TGIF. We made it. It is the get you to the weathery weekend edition of the Patrick Johnson Show. Thanks for being with us. I am the great P-Man. Philip the Ref Pilkington is producing. He'll have the 94.3 The Game Sports Flash update and Pirate Report for you coming up in just a little bit. Loaded show today. We're going to talk to a victorious Willie Bland, J.H. Rose head coach. He'll be with us in just a little bit. And Phil Constantino will also be with us. He is the director of broadcasting for Gardner-Webb, an accomplished broadcaster. Met Phil a few years ago when I was doing a TV game, and he was involved with Queens University then. That was before they moved to Division I, and Phil's done a great job the last handful of years at Gardner-Webb. So we'll talk to him about the Running Bulldogs on the grid. And I also would like to get the Gardner-Webb perspective on, how that university is dealing with modern-day college athletics. But if you're with us live on our video feed at 10, or even if you're with us at 6 o'clock as we're on the radio on 94.3 The Game, we have information that you will want to know, because back by popular demand, the great David Sawyer, Storm Team 9 meteorologist, joins us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. Podge Sawyer, the coach, joins us here to talk this tropical system. Sir, how are you?
Yes, sir. Patrick, great to be a part of the program, as really again, to be a resource for you and all of the listeners. It's my honor, Patrick. So thank you for inviting me to be a part of the program today.
Well, it's awesome to have you on. That's one thing we know with this system. There's going to be a lot of wind for the coast and a lot of rain for eastern North Carolina. So kind of tell us what to expect. Again, this is, live in the 10-hour, 6 o'clock here in the evening on replay. What are we looking at as far as weather goes? What are we looking at as far as rain and areas that are susceptible? And the winds, I guess, along our coastal interests. So I'll let you take it away.
Okay, sounds good, Patrick. And as we traditionally do, what we have found to be such a great combination is you guiding me through the geographical regions of where you want to get those conditions. But yes, to start out, as we also do in our conversations with this type of situation, to give everyone the overview, we do have a low-pressure system that is, whether it becomes Tropical Storm Ophelia or not, it's really just a semantics thing in that regard, Patrick. We're going to face tropical storm conditions no matter what, because this system is developing. It's developing rapidly, and the forecast is verifying to mean heavy rain across eastern North Carolina. Conditions meaning heavy rain, gusty winds, the potential of severe thunderstorms that could have isolated tornadoes. All of that is possible as we head into Friday evening, Friday night, overnight, and also into the first part of Saturday. So with that being the case, the latest forecast track for this system is a little bit farther to the east or to the right of what the previous track was. And let me share, Patrick, what that means for eastern North Carolina. With a slightly farther east, or a little bit farther to the right, if you will, of this forward-moving storm, this track would mean a little bit more of an impact for areas east of U.S. Highway 17, more for the inner banks, outer banks, and coastal areas. Now, areas west of that are still going to have impacts, but the bigger threats, as it looks with this latest forecast track, would have the greater threat of severe weather being essentially U.S. Highway 17 that corridor and to the east. That would include Jacksonville, New Bern, Washington, on up towards, say, Plymouth. Just looking on into how Martin County, Williamston, east of there on toward Elizabeth City as Highway 17, of course, traverses up through what we call the finger counties of northeastern North Carolina. So that's the overview, Patrick. And of course, would love to have you navigate us through the listening area to give me some ideas of what you'd like to talk about area-wise, and I'd be more than happy to give you my latest forecast information. And I know ultimately we want to talk about a kickoff at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium tomorrow evening, so we can talk about that too. Yes, sir.
All right, Storm Team 9 meteorologist David Sawyer with us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. Let's say, well, I think just from the border to the border, north to south, and let's go west to east. Let's start I-95 on to, maybe to right around the Greenville, 17, I-95 to 17. See, I think there's three sectors here. So let's go I-95 to maybe those western counties, just, to the west of Greenville, Greene County, Kinston on downward. So that kind of sliver there along 95 to right before you get to Greenville.
Patrick, that is spot on. A perfect way to partition the listening area. Let's go there first. For I-95 to the, let's say, North Carolina Highway 11, US 13 corridor,
Excellent.
which would basically talk about that area you just outlined. We're going to be talking about rain amounts probably 2 to 4 inches in the I-95 corridor to around the Kenansville, Kinston, Snow Hill, Greenville, western parts of Martin County like Hamilton up toward Windsor and Bertie County. Rain about 2 to 4 inches for this area, and this is total rainfall through Saturday afternoon, Patrick. So 2 to 4 inches of rain, not unprecedented, not extremely dangerous per se, but we know that heavy rain that can pile up 2 to 4 inches of rain in a couple of hours could cause some flash flooding, but it's more just careful driving, I would say, for the I-95 corridor to the U.S. Highway 13 and North Carolina Highway 11 corridor. Again, kind of taking that eastern side from Kenansville to Kinston to Greenville to Windsor. So, yeah, that's kind of there. So do you now want to take that next little section from, say, the Highway 13, Highway 11 over to Highway 17? What do you think of that?
Yeah, let's do that. That would be Williamston, Washington, Greenville, of course, Farmville, Ayden, Grifton, Bethel, and, points there where you go down through Trenton and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I think that would be effective. And I guess in there we're really going to start to see the winds pick up as well as the rainfall totals.
Yes, and I will say also, let me quickly say, I'm glad you folded back to there, Patrick. Winds for that first area that we just described, winds will be less than tropical storm force from the I-90. Okay. There will be gusts, but from the I-95 corridor to that Highway 11, U.S. Highway 13 corridor, around the Greenville, Kinston, Kenansville, Snow Hill, Windsor area, winds will be flirting with tropical storm force gusts around 35 to 40 miles per hour there. But now transitioning to the next section, as you said, from Greenville, Farmville, Ayden, Snow Hill, Kinston, Hamilton, and western Martin County, areas then east to U.S. Highway 17, I think wind gusts greater than tropical storm force are possible for areas like New Bern, Jacksonville, Washington, Plymouth. Winds will be flirting with 40 miles per hour at times later on Friday night and overnight Friday into Saturday. And rain amounts, too, will be increased, of course, with the higher amounts of precipitation the closer you get to the coast. There is a more credible threat of flash flooding and flooding rains for this section, again, including Kenansville, Kinston, Trenton, New Bern, Jacksonville, east of Greenville over toward Washington, moving into Beaufort County. These areas, rainfall amounts here between probably 3 to 5 inches of rain for this area, Patrick, could bring some flash flooding. And as the farther east you are, right along the U.S. Highway 70 corridor, I'll complete this section by saying that there is the chance of some isolated storms that could have rotation for areas, say Jacksonville up to New Bern, over toward Washington, Plymouth, and areas to the east of the U.S. Highway 17 corridor.
All right, David Sawyer, Storm Team 9 meteorologist. 17 onto the coast. I'll let you work north to south here, Outer Banks on down to Carteret County, and then Onslow and Pender and that sort of thing.
Yes, indeed, Patrick. I believe significant impacts are possible for this portion of eastern North Carolina. Rain amounts easily could exceed 6 inches, so over a half a foot of rain in the next 24 hours for areas like Morehead City, out to the down east Carteret County, Cedar Island, Ocracoke, Englehart, as we move into mainland Hyde County, Swan Quarter. Rain amounts here are going to be significant. We also have the storm surge threat. I think a lot of listeners oftentimes are interested or have understandable concerns as far as how high will the water pile up in the Pamlico River, the Pungo River, the Neuse River, the lower Neuse, the Pamlico Sound. Patrick, I'm thinking from a storm surge standpoint, let me go there if I could, to say that for the Pamlico River Basin, right now the forecast calls for storm surges to be between 3 to 5 feet above the normal ground level. So that could mean for some areas along the Pamlico River, water backing up into the Pamlico River could indeed produce water rises that could be between 3 to 5 feet. So if anyone is listening and has interest along the Pamlico River, that possibility with a high end 5 feet of storm surge, need to make sure that the boats are up on the lifts or off the lifts and in a safe place to prevent the possibility of a storm surge. If your area, all the folks that have interest along these waterways know how high the water can get before they need to be concerned. The forecast right now, Patrick, is 3 to 5 feet for the Pamlico River, and then for the lower Neuse River, the water could pile up between 4, maybe as high as 6 feet for areas in down east Carteret County, with that northeast wind kicking up between 40 and 60 miles per hour for this portion of of eastern North Carolina toward the coast and the Outer Banks. And let me talk winds. I've talked now the rains, the possible storm surge, and then as far as winds, this maximum wind forecast would be east of U.S. Highway 17, which would include Morehead City, Emerald Isle, Bogue Banks, Cedar Island. Winds here, Patrick, could be between 40 and almost flirting with, say, 70 miles per hour possible out on the Outer Banks from Ocracoke to Cape Hatteras. So very significant conditions could happen for this storm system as it moves ashore for areas east of U.S. Highway 17, including Pamlico Sound, the Outer Banks, and down east Carteret County, and the lower portion of Craven County, with that storm surge building up in the lower Neuse River for Pamlico County and lower Craven County as well.
All right, David Sawyer, Storm Team 9 meteorologist. Last thing here, obviously game day in Greenville. So if you would kind of take us through, tailgating time, I guess late morning leading up to the 6 o'clock kickoff, and then ultimately what will happen around 6 when ECU kicks off against Gardner-Webb.
Great question, Patrick, and this is a great synopsis. I'm feeling more and more confident about what I'm getting ready to share with our listeners about the East Carolina football game. With the kickoff being at 6 p.m. Saturday evening, that's good. That is a good thing, because the more time distance we have between now and kickoff to get this storm system through eastern North Carolina, the better. So the fact that the kickoff is at 6 p.m., I'm encouraged to report, Patrick, that I believe the rain will pretty much be out of eastern North Carolina by 6 p.m. Saturday evening, by kickoff time in Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium for the East Carolina Gardner-Webb game. Now, the tailgating. This is what I really would like to emphasize to our ECU and even Gardner-Webb fans coming to Greenville for the game. The winds are going to be very gusty, so need to think about the idea that normally if you've got a tent or something like that, that may not be the best idea for tailgating. But the catch-22, Patrick, the issue is the fact that it still could be raining at least through lunchtime on Saturday. So for tailgating, not the best in terms of conditions on tailgating, but I'm encouraged for ECU fans going to Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. I believe that the game fan gathering for the game Saturday could be on much improved conditions in terms of the rain moving out. Just a breezy west wind coming from just for those that are interested in wind direction. The winds will be fairly breezy coming from the Williams Arena, Murphy Center. It'll be coming from that direction, blowing toward the Boneyard. So that's the way the west winds will be fairly brisk on Saturday evening as the storm pulls away and things clear out. And I'm cautiously optimistic that I believe game time rain will be out of there. Just take a jacket. It's going to be a cooler west wind.
Right.
And you might want to take the raincoat with you in case there's still a stray sprinkle. But tailgating, definitely think about those winds in terms of your tailgating with tents and other things that can be blown around. And the rain chances will still be there at least through lunchtime on Saturday for those gathering for tailgating.
Awesome breakdown of what's going on right now. The great David Sawyer, Storm Team 9 meteorologist. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. And as much as I like talking to you, I hope we don't talk to you again for a really long time because when we talk to you, something crazy is going on with weather. So, great to talk to you. Thanks for hopping on.
Thank you, Patrick. Have a great weekend. And again, thanks for the opportunity to be a part of your program.
Yeah, awesome to have you. And again, by listener demand, got a lot of messages yesterday about you need to get David Sawyer comments on the Facebook as well. So, all right, let us take a timeout. When we come back, ECU hosting Gardner-Webb, 6 o'clock tomorrow. Our coverage begins at 3 p.m. here on 94.3 The Game with our Busch Light Pirate Game Day Countdown. We're going to talk with Phil Constantino. He is the voice of the Gardner-Webb running Bulldogs. We'll get the straight poop on G-Dub when we come back.
R&D Brewing is proud to partner with the ECU Pirates, and now you can enjoy Pirates Brew, the official craft beer of ECU Athletics. Pirates Brew is a carefully curated light beer that embodies the spirit of ECU, a refreshing and easy drinking light beer. Pirates Brew by R&D Brewing is available now at grocery stores, local retailers, and at ECU athletic events.
Head over to your favorite store and enjoy a nice Pirates Brew today, or else you'll walk the plank. Hand me another Pirates Brew. Arr.
Fifth Street Hardware is the home of the $9 lunch special Tuesday through Fridays. $9 specials every day, including the famous Burger Day on Tuesdays, Flatbread Pizza Wednesday, the famous Fifth Street Hardware Reuben on Thursday, and fried fish or shrimp on Friday. Plus trivia on Wednesday nights and live music every Thursday nights. And the Prime Rib Brunch Buffet has returned on Sundays. You heard that right. The Brunch Buffet with all the great items, including prime rib. Fifth Street Hardware in downtown Greenville.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's best small town.
Just because voice-over IP telephones are the latest technology in the telephone world doesn't mean they're the right choice for you and your business. Whether your internet provider is unable to support a voice-over IP phone system, or you don't have a need for high-tech features and simply want to stick with a traditional system, Spain Telecom is here to help. Spain Telecom offers a variety of services to keep your business connected and competitive. We're confident we can find the right phone system for you and your business, a system that addresses all your communication needs. Looking for a new phone system that won't break the bank? In addition to new systems, Spain Telecom also offers gently used systems that are in great shape and can save you money. No matter your needs, Spain Telecom has a solution for you. Whether it's voice over IP, on-premise systems, new or used, give us a call at 252-353-2006 and let Spain Telecom help you with your communications needs.
You ready for this?
Oh, I'm very ready. Okay, ready?
You ready?
Streaming to the world at 943thegame.com. This is the Patrick Johnson Show. Now in all his glory, here's the P-Man.
All right, it is East Carolina welcoming Gardner-Webb tomorrow to Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, 6 o'clock. Our Pirate Game Day Countdown begins at 3 p.m. on 94.3 The Game. We're going to have Trent McGee subbing for me tomorrow. And, of course, Terrence Copper, the NFL vet, Pirate all-time great, Washington Pam Pack legend. Joey Sampson, Joey Football, will be on as well, and 247's Steve and I go. We go now to the phone line, and it's a real treat to have on I hate to sound like an old guy, because he's a little bit of an old guy, too. I'm kidding with him. Phil Constantino is with us here. I was very impressed the first time I met you, Phil. I thought, boy, here's a real up-and-comer, and by golly, if it's not proved to be true. So great to talk to you. Phil's involved with
it's been too long.
It has. Phil's involved with broadcasting and strategic communication. We have a lot of friends and colleagues that cross paths with both of us. And Phil's never short of an opinion with them, which is good. We need I would be the good cop, you'd be the bad cop in those scenarios as we mentor young broadcasters, Phil. But I like that.
Yeah, I tell them, I call it how I see it. I tell it how it is. I don't know. Maybe it's that my New York edge or something. But folks have become accustomed to me, I guess. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope they say nice things. I try to help.
Oh, no, they do. They say, you know what they say? They say, Phil's honest. I said, well, good. You need a little honesty in your
welcome to broadcasting.
In your critique, because there's going to be honesty, and usually when it's honest, it's not as good. So some constructive honesty is a good thing. Okay, well, Phil, tell us a little bit about the Running Bulldogs coming in. We've talked about them all week from our perspective, but I'd love to hear kind of the straight poop from the G-Dub perspective. And this will be the second FBS opponent that the Running Bulldogs have played so far in the first month.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, it's the 1 and 2 start's a little bit disappointing. I think everyone thought at minimum they should be 2-1, potentially even 3-0. Against Appalachian State in week 1, yes, an FBS opponent. Yes, traditionally in the last 10 years, a very prominent group of 5 opponent. But it's a Gardner-Webb program that now in 6 FBS games under Trey Lamb has been in the game in 5 of the 6, only blown out 1 time. That was a couple of years ago. And in 3 of those games, had a legitimate chance to win. And when I mean that, or when I say that, I mean ball in their hands, driving down the field, less than a touchdown, the margin, touchdown wins it, and they just throw an interception or they can't convert on 4th downs and turn it over. Like, should have won those games type of situation. Right. So they feel like week 1 against Appalachian State, when you're up, late in the third quarter, 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and the entire stadium just kind of has this nervous energy to it because of it, you got to go win the football game. And a couple of bad plays down the stretch, a shanked punt flips field in the wrong direction, and next thing you know, they score 3 times in a row and it gets away from them and they lose by 3 touchdowns. So maybe that's not a game they definitely should have won, but it's a game they could have won. And beat Elon in week 2, that's a premier FCS win, but it kind of was a little bit ugly because they did have a 2-touchdown lead with 6 minutes left and then squandered that lead with a bad fumble late, only to go down the field and score a touchdown to win it by a touchdown with 14 seconds left. And then last week versus Tennessee State, that was just a sloppily, poorly played football game, and they lost on a 50-yard field goal with a couple of seconds left by 2. A game that they should have won, a game that if they play their normal game, they're probably 2 touchdowns better than Tennessee State. So it's a little bit disappointing, but I think they understand that there's an opportunity this week to go make a statement. Maybe in some ways the loss was good because it refocuses them. They know they have been chomping at the bit for these FBS games, and they know they have been close, and they know that against an 0-3 team, this is a real opportunity. So they'll be ready to play. And I still think they understand that, okay, we lost 1 conference game, but our goals of a championship, our goals of an FCS playoff appearance are still very much in front of us. So it's not a sky is falling feeling by any means, but it's definitely a little bit disappointment. And hey, if we want to go where this program has built toward and this program has been last year, it's going to require a refocusing, and it's going to require hey, let's get the job done.
Phil Constantino on the line with us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. I want to talk to you about Trey Lamb, and he's a young guy. He runs this offense, which is very similar to what Tennessee runs. Heupel, of course, ran something very similar at UCF when he was there. So Pirate fans should have some familiarity with this or recognize it. So Trey Lamb seems to have inserted a great deal of enthusiasm and excitement into the running Bulldog program.
Oh, yeah. And before Trey Lamb, I mean, it's a program that hadn't been very good. I mean, they made the trip to East Carolina the year before Trey Lamb got to Gardner-Webb, and I think you know how that one went. So Trey has turned around the program. I'll tell you, the first time I met him, because at the time when he was hired at Gardner-Webb just before the pandemic. I came in just after the pandemic as we were coming out of it. So our seasons match up together. And I remember the first time I met him, he was in the office. He popped in the office for something. And he was this young, fresh face. I think he was 31 years old at the time. But it's just his whole demeanor just screamed head coaching vibes. You knew that was the head football coach. No one had to tell you. And he comes from a family of coaches. His father, a prominent high school coach. His uncle, a longtime FCS coach, who's now the head coach at Anderson, the new program that's starting there in Division II. He has, almost in a good way, a little sense of that head coach arrogance and focus.
Right.
And he is a hard worker. He is an incredible football mind. He believes in an offense that, well, let's go fast. Let's spread the field widthwise. Let's maximize number of snaps. And he and I have a great working relationship. I consider him a friend. He's a great dude. And I'll tell you what, I think everyone in Boiling Springs knows that he's going places eventually in his career because he's just too good. Right.
Phil, I want to ask you a little bit about a guy who I think has NFL talent, so I think he'll get a legitimate NFL look. He may be a bit of a tweener, but Ty French starts off the game at Tennessee State with a sack and a forced fumble, and he could wind up tying the all-time sacks lead as soon as Saturday. He's that good. He needs 2.5. So give us a little bit of the 4.11 on Ty French.
Well, he's already got the conference record, and he's very close to the school record. My guess is by the end of the year, he'll get that. And last year, he set a Big South Conference single-season record. I don't know, if I'm being honest, and I haven't heard Trey Lamb specifically say this. I just kind of gleaned this from some comments that Trey has made over the years. Ty's first year at Gardner-Webb was Trey's first year, my first year, that year coming out of the pandemic. You know what was going on at the time. Rosters were crowded because of the extra year. And so I just kind of got a sense that Gardner-Webb doesn't get Ty French if the pandemic doesn't happen. Because, yes, he was a little bit undersized, and he's filled out. He's now 6'3", 230. He is sculpted. He's a menace on the field. Off the field, he's the nicest, most fun-loving kid in the world, always laughing, always having a good time, goes out of his way to say hello to you. But I don't know that Gardner-Webb necessarily gets a kid like that, but they did. And if it's any indication, the kind of program that Coach Lamb runs and the kind of kid that Ty French is, I know there are schools that want him, and he stayed. And he'll finish out his degree at Gardner-Webb. Probably, you're right, go to the NFL, at least have a shot to potentially get drafted or at least sign in a camp somewhere and make an NFL roster. But we get scouts on campus all the time come to practice, and every single time they come to practice, they always tell me, Ty French has a real shot. He's a player. So I cannot say enough nice things about that kid. Just a hardworking, loyal, good kid who's a fun kid to be around. But on the football field, stay away from him. He is intimidating.
Phil Constantino with Gardner-Webb. You've also got another veteran in the backfield with Nari Gaither, who can catch the football, can really hurt you in space on those screens. He's a hard runner, though. Huge game for him in the loss at Tennessee State. The career number, I think it is over 6 yards a carry. That's pretty darn scary.
That sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah, he's good. He's another one. Great kid. Just a great kid. And I think in 2023 college football, I mean, you're asking me about two marquee guys who have been around. Nari Gaither had the extra COVID year. His first year was the year before Trey Lamb got to Gardner-Webb. And there was a lot of thought that he wasn't going to use it. And it was big news when late in the spring it was determined, Nari's coming back and he's going to play one more year. And I think it tells you the kind of kid he is. I think it tells you the kind of program Trey Lamb runs. But Patrick, you know this. It's 2023 college football. You don't return 17 starters unless you're doing something right. It doesn't happen, especially at the FCS level. You go in with a championship, well, there's room to go up. And there were some starters from last year that left and went FBS, 2 offensive linemen. But all of these other kids stayed loyal and came back. And Nari Gaither's a phenomenal kid. I think he'd probably tell you the first 2 games he didn't get off to a great start this season. Last game he exploded, but he still has to perform a little better in the passing game. He dropped a couple of passes. So he gets it going. He gets his legs under him. He's going to be just fine.
Want to ask you a little bit, Phil, about really quick here, and Gardner-Webb is at the FCS level, Big South in hoops, low-level Division I. Pirates have played him, of course, and I really like your guys' coach there in hoops. But I want to ask you a little bit about, from just the athletic perspective, you see all this going on in conference expansion world. Where does Gardner-Webb see itself as an athletic department in the future?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I can tell you that the word that I get from the administration, from all the way from the top down, from President Downs, from Dr. Goodrich, the athletic director, at this current moment, Gardner-Webb's a proud member of the Big South. And Gardner-Webb understands that, we can go chasing, what everyone else is chasing in the world of conference realignment and the change of college athletics. But there's one thing that you can't put a value on that is tried and true no matter where you go. Championships. Mm-hmm. Winning sells. Winning gets you recognized. Winning gets you noticed. And so the university has put, and I give Dr. Downs a lot of credit because he has been at the forefront of changing the attitude and putting the resources toward athletics during his 5 years at Gardner-Webb. The university has focused on that. Let's win. The rest of that stuff, we'll worry about it later. The rest of that stuff will all take care of itself. I think you get a lot of schools nowadays, they want to go chase, as Dion would say, chase the bag, right?
Right.
Well, focus on winning. And the university has done that. I think it started in 2019 when the men's basketball team broke through, won the Big South Championship, went to the NCAA tournament for the first time in Division I, and it has only continued. Last year was the most successful year athletically in the history of the program. Football won the Big South title. Women's basketball went 21-0 in conference games, regular season and postseason. It was the single best season, men's or women's, in the history of the Big South Conference. And the men's tennis team won a championship, 3 championships. And if you talk to Dr. Goodrich, the athletic director, he'll tell you this year we're going for 5. Now, I don't know if 5 happens. Might be a little bit ambitious, but that's the goal. There's changing all around. In our league, teams have come and gone. I've been at Gardner-Webb for 4 years, and I've seen the same teams that have come in also leave after a year or two. But for now, Gardner-Webb's a proud member of the Big South, and the focus is on winning. And you focus on winning, the rest of it takes care of itself. You know how it goes, Patrick. Everyone's putting a value. We sit here debating Power 5 school, who's going to get more TV money, who's going to get more of this. Well, guess what? You put the product on the field that wins. That TV money is going to take care of itself. So.
What's interesting, too, is a lot of this with this expansion, somebody's got to lose. So not everybody's going to go 500 in the conference. when you expand these things. I mean, there's you're taking the money, but it's going to be tough if you're constantly big conference or not in the bottom part of the standings. Hey, Phil,
so let me throw this out there to you. Let me throw this out there to you, and this is just me speaking, not on behalf of the university here, but there are a lot of schools, and this whole thing has trickled down to, to the Big South level, because there are schools that have left the Big South. The Big South a couple years ago, when I first got in the league, was a 12-team league. Now we're at 9 full-member institutions. The Big South 2 years ago was a 9-team football league. Now we are under 6 and had to merge with the Ohio Valley for sustainability in a playoff berth. I mean, there's no question that there's a little bit of an anxiety, I think, among some people about the Big South and its future. But what I would say is this. If you're Campbell, for example, or one of these other schools that has gone to the Colonial with 16 teams or whatever, where's your path to the postseason? Where's your path to winning? Yeah. So again, that's just my own 2 cents. I wouldn't say don't quote me on behalf of the university on that one. But if I'm speaking my own mind and I'm speaking where I think Gardner-Webb Athletics is aligned is worry about winning. I think all of these schools get so focused on just worry about winning. You win, and the rest takes care of itself.
Yeah. Hey, Phil, great to talk to you, my man, and hope to catch up with you again soon. Say hi to Tim Kraft.
It has been too long. I got to go call Tim Kraft later today, so I will. It has been too long, Patrick, and it's good to talk to you. And I felt bad. I saw you a couple of years ago at basketball. I had to go rush and chase our coach down for an interview. I didn't get a chance to chat with you. I felt bad, so here I am 2 years later.
Well, there you go. Like I said, it's been too long. Stay in touch. We'll see you soon, Phil.
All
Take
right,
care.
Patrick. Thanks for having me. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep, there he goes. Phil Constantino does the Gardner-Webb TV and radio broadcasts, all around great guy. Tell you what, Pilk, let's grab a break. We'll come back with your update, and then we'll finish the show with Will Bland. I think that's probably the way to go here. So a timeout when we come back. Philip the Ref Pilkington with the 94.3 The Game sports update and Pirate Report, and then Rose coach Will Bland as the Rampants get a victory for the first time since August. Last night, shutting out South Central when we come back.
5th Street Hardware is the home of the $9 lunch special Tuesday through Fridays. $9 specials every day, including the famous Burger Day on Tuesdays, Flatbread Pizza Wednesday, the famous 5th Street Hardware Reuben on Thursday, and fried fish or shrimp on Friday. Plus trivia on Wednesday nights and live music every Thursday nights. And the Prime Rib Brunch Buffet has returned on Sundays. You heard that right. The Brunch Buffet with all the great items, including prime rib. 5th Street Hardware in downtown Greenville.
Tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You can't name a lot of things that I didn't do. It's like a paper, like a book, not a Kindle. You outdated, I'm the one they getting into, and I don't break a sweat. Let's get it, 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 let's get it. Child, please, I don't need a child, please.
Are you game day ready? Anson Belt, the official belt of ECU Athletics.
Are you ready for a digital hair color revolution? The Color Master Factory by Chi and LG. A masterpiece of innovation, unlimited color formulations, limitless possibilities, long-lasting color. Chi.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human. About creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
Philip Pilkington here with your 94.3 The Game Sports Flash Update and Pirate Report. We will start with the Pirates. The football team has started 0-3 on the season. Coach Blake Harrell spoke about the team finding its identity.
You find your true identity of the team about after 4 games, and especially with a new bunch defensively. We're kind of working through some of those things, trying to find the right combinations, get the right guys on the field, and we'll continue to do that. And I think we're getting closer and closer. You know, Antoine Jackson stepped up, had a really big game. Siobhan Rebel made a nice play down the sideline. Mike Edwards led us in tackles last week. So we got some guys doing that, but I think there's some other guys that we can pull from and get more from too.
The Pirates will be in action tomorrow, 6 o'clock, right here on 94.3 The Game, with our network coverage starting at 5, and our local pregame will start at 3 o'clock. Staying with Pirate Athletics, the Pirates soccer team drew UAB in their second conference game of the season down in Birmingham. Sydney Chanel scored her third goal of the season in the 1-1 draw. In the wee hours of the morning, Friday morning, the State House of Representatives passed a new bill that targets the administration of high school sports in North Carolina. The bill would allow the Board of Education to set participation rules, which include academic standards, enrollment and transfer requirements, attendance requirements, medical eligibility requirements, biological participation requirements, recruiting limitations, hardship expectations, and amateur status. In high school football last night, J.H. Rose blanked South Central 46-0. Conley had a big road win at Northside Jacksonville 41-12. North Pitt fell to West Carteret 58 to 36, and Farmville Central knocked off Aden Grifton 60-26. Tonight, 2-1 NC State travels to 0-3 Virginia to take on the Cavs. The Pack are favored by 9 in that contest, which will be both teams' first ACC game of the young season. That'll do it for your 94.3 The Game Sports Flash Update and Pirate Report. On the other side of this timeout, the head coach of that Rampants football team that beat South Central last night, Will Bland, will join the show.
Fifth Street Hardware is the home of the $9 lunch special Tuesday through Fridays. $9 specials every day, including the famous Burger Day on Tuesdays, Flatbread Pizza Wednesday, the famous Fifth Street Hardware Reuben on Thursday, and fried fish or shrimp on Friday. Plus trivia on Wednesday nights and live music every Thursday nights. And the Prime Rib Brunch Buffet has returned on Sundays. You heard that right. The Brunch Buffet with all the great items, including prime rib. Fifth Street Hardware in downtown Greenville.
Tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You can't name a lot of things that I didn't do. It's like a paper, like a book, not a Kindle. You outdated, I'm the one they getting into, and I won't break a sweat. Let's get it, 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 let's get it. Child, please, I don't need a towel, please.
Are you game day ready? Anson Belt, the official belt of ECU Athletics.
Are you ready for a digital hair color revolution? The Color Master Factory by Chi and LG. A masterpiece of innovation, unlimited color formulations, limitless possibilities, long-lasting color. Chi.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
And now, the stunning conclusion of the show. It's the P-Man here on 94.3 The Game.
The great Will Bland joins us here, one of our dear friends. Big win for his Rose Rampants last night over their cross-county rival South Central, 46-zip. Coach Bland, a huge first quarter, and you guys never look back. Congratulations. Great to talk to you.
I appreciate it, yeah, and that's probably one of the biggest things that's been going since we started the season. Like, we start off slow, get behind, and had to fight our way back in the second half. And I thought the kids did a great job of going out there from the get-go, playing with a lot of emotion, getting after South Central, and then having us to get that big lead, and then just having to hold off at the end. So I thought they did a great job in all aspects of the game.
You know, Will, Chris Cherry's done a heck of a job at South Central. He's changed the culture there. They had 3 wins coming in. They were hyped for last night at home. They always are when they play the Rampants. So, you knew it was going to be tough and that a fast start was probably, I'm sure, what you were preaching all week. But to deal with all that emotion, for your guys to do that and then come out and be as victorious as they were, that has to be really satisfying for you.
It is, and then trying to keep, we're 1-4, and trying to explain to some of the kids that, guys, we're not any typical 1-4 for watching. We play some great non-conference games against great opponents. So just having to believe that we're good as advertised, we just got some mistakes that clear up, and then being able to start fast. So it was very satisfying to see them go out there and just enjoy playing football again, which they did last night, and getting the victory and then getting ready for our next week game.
Hey, Will, or Coach Bland, tell us a little bit about who played well for you, particularly, you thought, last night.
Well, I thought Jaden Lovett did a great job quarterbacking the guys last night. We using a 2-quarterback system, and I thought he did a great job at running the offense, throwing great passes, connecting deep on a lot of post passes. Being able to do the read option, read that in guys. So I thought he did a exceptional job in that aspect, which we need some of that with both our quarterbacks. And they both do different things pretty good, but I thought he stood out a little bit better last night. And then Landon Richard, he's been quiet all year, and he exploded last night for 155 yards on 3 catches, had 3 touchdown passes last night, which was big for him. And then Justin Biggs does a great job. I know you want to see the touchdown. He didn't get in the end zone, but he does a great job of getting it open, getting into space, making things happen when he gets the ball. So I'm very happy for him. And Malachi Keys showed up. So he had a 68-yard hit that he took all the way back to the house. So them guys did a great job on the offensive aspect of it. On defense, being able to put Quinn McCaffrey, one of our big guys we got, for JP2, and right now we use him a little bit more on defense. Want to get him more on offense, but he does a great job back there in the secondary, helping them guys off the line. He does a great job. I think we held South Central, who's been averaging 230 yards passing, to only 30 yards in the first half. So big kudos to them.
Great job. I want to ask you a little bit about, obviously Dr. Love, Stephen Lovett, beloved coach, defensive coordinator for you, died February, and just was a great guy. And you've kind of filled those shoes. Tell us a little bit about, that, because Coach Lovett was such a solid, great human being. Never mind this. Let's just say a great guy, but such a solid football guy too. So how has that transition been?
Well, it's been, at the beginning of a little rocky there, but, Lovett did everything for the kids. He loved the kids. He loved his players. He would do anything for them and then take them home here early in the morning, making sure they got Gatorade and little snacks that he would take care of. So, we lost a great guy. Loved football, cared about everyone. You can tell by his funeral how many people cared about him and what he did for him. But word can't describe him. I know he's probably looking down on us. Just happy that we finally got back on the right track. But, we went out there and got Coach Light to help us out this year with it, with the defensive calling and stuff. So, and he's been around. Coach Light also has done a great job. He got 6 state championships as a defensive coordinator. So, he knows what he's talking about. So just got to, try to get his terminology into the kids and make sure the kids understand what they want, what he wants them to do, make sure all our coaches know what's going on so we can make sure we put the best product on the field.
J.H. Rose head football coach Will Bland, 46-zip. They beat South Central last night, former Pirate Will Bland, and Havelock Ram is with us here. All right, you got Northside Jacksonville coming up at home, and then Conley on the road, New Bern and Havelock. After last night, you got to feel pretty good about maybe going on a little run here. Northside Jacksonville's having a bit of a down year. Conley's not normal Conley, but that's a rivalry game. We know how those go, but Rose has at times played very well over in Hollywood Crossroads. New Bern, according to everything we understand, a big blow to them and their program as Jacksonville took care of them last night. Of course, then Havelock. So there's a lot to play for. Do you feel like you're in a position after that tough non-conference to go on a roll here?
Yeah, and I think so. And that's one of the reasons why we try to schedule some of them non-conference games, because you find out who you are. And I think them 4 non-conference games, we found out who we were. We were battle tested, playing against some great teams out there. If you look at it, we could very well been 2-2 coming out of conference, non-conference. But the way the ball bounced, we were 1-3. And then Jacksonville is a great school. They're a great team this year, and we knew that coming in. So everybody chasing Jacksonville right now. So we just got to come out here and we, like you said, we got some great games coming forward. We just got to make sure that we do what we can do as coaches to make sure we get the players ready. Because again, Northside is going to be Northside, and this league anybody can win. Conley's a rivalry game. You throw your records out the window, and then you got New Bern to defend state champion. Until somebody wins the state championship out of the 4A, they're still going to be the defending state champions. So no matter, regardless of that. And then, we'll have a bye, and then we got to play Havelock, which is going to be a great game as always. So if we can go on a little run here, I think we'll be able to make a decent run in the playoffs.
Hey, Coach, always great to talk to you. Appreciate the time. Congrats on the win last night, and we'll catch up with you real soon down the road.
I appreciate it, Patrick. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, always great to have you on. The great Will Bland with us here. Rose picking up the win last night over South Central. Farmville getting the win over Aiden Grifton in another cross-county game last night. All right, so let's set the table for everything going on tomorrow. We've got Pirate Game Day Countdown originating from the studio tomorrow with Trent McGee substituting for myself. He'll be joined by Terrence Copper and Joe Sampson. Dom Kasolke, Philip the Ref Pilkington, they'll be here doing everything. And they'll hear from Stephen Igo. Igo will be out at the stadium. And they'll be on from 3 until 5 with our Busch Light Pirate Game Day Countdown. We'll feature in that the keys to the game driven by Brown and Wood. Also coming up tomorrow, network coverage, 107.9 joins the fray at 5 o'clock. That'll go for the hour countdown to the kick. And then it'll be ECU hosting Gardner-Webb, 6 o'clock with Jim Zoki, Kevin Monroe, Macy O'Donnell, and David Horn. All right, I am going to be doing, or at least scheduled right now, to do Friday Night Rivals tonight with Jay Sonalder in the Triangle Market. The game has been moved up to right now. This is the magic of radio, folks. So we'll see how all that plays. Rivalry game there between Apex and Cary. Apex very good. And then tomorrow on Gridiron Radio Network across the country, 200-plus stations, every state but Alaska, I'll be on the sidelines as the field reporter for number 3 Florida State at Clemson. So I'll be doing that. That's where I'll be tomorrow, and honored to be asked by Noah Britt and company to do that. And haven't been to Death Valley in about 20 years, so I figured it would be a good way to head out and get a little taste of one of the big college football games and what is a great college football weekend. All right, big thanks today to Will Bland, J.H. Rose coach, for being with us, David Sawyer, Storm Team 9 meteorologist, and Phil Constantino with Gardner-Webb Athletics. Great to talk to all of those folks here today. Thanks to Philip the Rep Pilkington. Great job by him, as always, on the scoreboard update desk, but also producing the show. All right, we'll be back Monday, Patrick Johnson Show, sometime around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, recording the show. We'll have it for you live on video with Jay Sonalder, and then 5 o'clock back there on Monday with all of the post-mortem for the Pirates and running Bulldogs. My guy Randy Cap's very excited about that. He's a GWU alum. All right, don't forget Pirate Game Day Countdown tomorrow, 3 o'clock, right here on 94.3 The Game and the IBX Media app, presented by Busch Light, Trent McGee, along with Joey Football, Joe Sampson, and Terrence Copper on the big program tomorrow. Steve and I go also from Hoist the Colors. All right, stay dry, stay safe. Have a great and safe weekend, and we'll see you Monday on the Patrick Johnson Show. That morning on Talk of the Town at 7 a.m. Go Pirates, beat those running Bulldogs.
R&D Brewing is proud to partner with the ECU Pirates, and now you can enjoy Pirates Brew, the official craft beer of ECU Athletics. Pirates Brew is a carefully curated light beer that embodies the spirit of ECU, a refreshing and easy drinking light beer. Pirates Brew by R&D Brewing is available now at grocery stores, local retailers, and at ECU athletic events.
Head over to your favorite store and enjoy a nice Pirates Brew today, or else you'll walk the plank. Hand me another Pirates Brew.
Fifth Street Hardware is the home of the $9 lunch special Tuesday through Fridays. $9 specials every day, including the famous Burger Day on Tuesdays, Flatbread Pizza Wednesday, the famous Fifth Street Hardware Reuben on Thursday, and fried fish or shrimp on Friday. Plus trivia on Wednesday nights and live music every Thursday nights. And the Prime Rib Brunch Buffet has returned on Sundays. You heard that right. The Brunch Buffet with all the great items, including prime rib. Fifth Street Hardware in downtown Greenville.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's best small town.
Just because voice-over IP telephones are the latest technology in the telephone world doesn't mean they're the right choice for you and your business. Whether your internet provider is unable to support a voice-over IP phone system, or you don't have a need for high-tech features and simply want to stick with a traditional system, Spain Telecom is here to help. Spain Telecom offers a variety of services to keep your business connected and competitive. We're confident we can find the right phone system for you and your business, a system that addresses all your communication needs. Looking for a new phone system that won't break the bank? In addition to new systems, Spain Telecom also offers gently used systems that are in great shape and can save you money. No matter your needs, Spain Telecom has a solution for you. Whether it's voice over IP, on-premise systems, new or used, give us a call at 252-353-2006 and let Spain Telecom help you with your communications needs.